Daniel Orr presents an appetizer from New York City on top of a tomato compote of frog legs spiced with lemon, garlic, and the Indian ingredient Pickle Masala. Then from Washington, D.C., Scott Williams offers the main course, featuring a marinated Portobello mushroom garnished with a mixture of mascarpone, boursin, and Montrachet cheese. Brian Schoenbeck presents a multi-step dessert from Chicago. It features, under a chocolate glaze, a dome of passion fruit jelly, chocolate cake, and passion fruit brulee. Guastavino's is making some serious waves in New York's abundant culinary scene. One of the chief reasons is the talented executive chef, Daniel Orr. His cooking has received considerable media attention from Gourmet, Bon Appetit, and John Mariani in Esquire. His starter features spiced frog legs.
These are the frog legs, which are grenouille in French. And what I'm going to do is prepare them with several different ingredients. We're going to saute them with a little bit of butter, garlic, lemon zest, some tomato compote, finish it with a little bit of chopped parsley, and then sprinkle some pickle masala, which is an Indian spice, which is really nice, perfumey, a little bit spicy, kind of salty, spicy spice from India. So basically, I'm going to show you first how to prepare them. What you want to do is just cut off at the joint the legs from the backbone, and then you're just going to snip off the toes. And you have the prepared frog legs. I like these small ones because they're very sweet and meaty. The bigger they get, the more tough they are and the more kind of chicken-like they are. This way they're very melt in your mouth, very tender. And what I do first is soak them in some milk. And what the milk does is it coats them with a little bit, tenderizes them a little bit more, and it coats them with a type of sweetness, natural sugar that will caramelize and be very brown when you fry them. Next, you dredge them in some seasoned flour. It's just flour with some salt and pepper. And make sure that you get all the flour off them, because the flour will burn in the oil if you don't remove all the flour. This dish is very popular in the south of France, in Provence. In French, it's grenouille à la provençale, which means with garlic and parsley and some tomatoes.
They are sautéed in salad oil.
You want that fairly hot. Start to sizzle. You want to use a pan that gives the legs plenty of room so they brown evenly. All right, now that once the frog legs get nice and crispy, and I like to say they should be crisp as picnic chicken, you drain off the excess fat. And now you add the butter. For this, we're going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to cook that until that becomes a beurre noisette, or a slightly brown butter. It gives a nice nutty flavor to the frog legs. And just as that starts to turn, I'm going to start finishing up with the rest of the ingredients. In the meantime, I've got my tomato compote heating up. And this is a combination of tomatoes, garlic, shallots, and a bouquet garni, which has thyme, bay leaf, rosemary. I'm going to cook that very slowly, and it makes a nice, very rich compote of tomato. Okay, you can see this is starting to brown the butter a little bit. Now I'm going to add the garlic, and I would put about a tablespoon for that much frog legs. But if you really, really love garlic, you could add a little bit more. If you don't care for it, just add a touch less. When that starts to get a little bit a touch brown and nutty, then you're going to add lemon zest. and chopped parsley. Put a little of the tomato compote down. This will kind of anchor your frog legs so you can just stack them up. Put your frog legs in the center. You can really smell that garlic. It's a wonderful, wonderful aroma. And then take some of your butter. You're going to squeeze a half lemon into your butter. And that makes your sauce. Spoon that over the top. Let a little bit of that trickle around the outside. And then you finish it by sprinkling the pickle masala right over the top. And this is also very aromatic and wonderful. And this is one of our most popular dishes here at Guastavino's, the frog legs provençal.
At the time of taping, the executive sous chef at the big Sheraton Washington Hotel in the nation's capital was R. Scott Williams. He was born in Ohio and learned to cook helping his mother feed a family of 10. After leaving the Sheraton, he cooked in the Caribbean. He offers a grilled portobello.
I'd like to start out of the portobello mushroom. They range in diameter from 3.5 to 7 inches in diameter. They're locally grown in Pennsylvania. It's a hybrid of an Italian mushroom. We marinate it. It's best marinated in a soy, ginger marinade. Basically just add all the ingredients. Start off the oil. Soy. Fresh ginger. Shallots, powdered ginger to enhance the flavor. You should marinate at least 24 hours or overnight. When marinated, make sure the mushroom is well drained. Then grill. To make the mushroom stock, lightly marinate. Use carini mushrooms. You can use smaller portobellos. Lightly marinate. It's been marinated overnight. Strain some of your rehydrated morels. Garlic. dice shiitake, or your portobello mushrooms. Add that to your stock. For the cheese mixture, we use a Montrachet cheese, mascarpone, which is Italian cream cheese, and herb boursin. Mix all the ingredients together with 1 egg to make it smoother in consistency. It's better to pipe through a pastry bag. To present the mushrooms, cut in half. Place mushrooms crisscrossed at the center. Pipe the cheese mixture in the center. Strain your mushroom stock through a chinois. Present sauce with mushroom cheese mixture. Garnish with fresh thyme.
Condé Nast Travelers magazine called the Park Hyatt in Chicago one of the best new hotels in the world. The upscale restaurant there is NOMI and features the pastry of Brian Schoenbeck. He is an Illinois native who has worked mainly in Chicago, including Charlie Trotter's. Here is chocolate passion fruit dome. This dessert calls for fully a half-dozen separate pastry steps. Clearly that is not feasible time-wise. So we will limit our attention to 2 items. This is one. It's the base of the dome, comprised of small pieces of cookie with praline paste and milk chocolate added.
I'm going to roll it on a Silpat, which is a non-stick rubber mat, silicone mat. I'm going to spread it out as evenly as possible before we roll it. We're going to cover it with some plastic wrap. Press it down slightly.
Refrigerate until presentation.
Roll it out as evenly as possible.
Another component is a light chocolate cake or biscuit. The batter is lightened with beaten egg whites.
Spread this out.
It's baked at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes.
Next, we're going to make the passion fruit brulee. We have milk and some cream. And we're going to bring that to a boil, just about to a boil, with our passion fruit puree. We're going to add some sugar. Half the amount of sugar we'll add to that, and then the other half we're going to mix in with our egg yolks. We're going to add our eggs to our sugar. Whisk in the eggs and the sugar. And we'll temper in the hot cream. Pour the mixture back into the pot. We'll cook it slightly till it thickens. We've cooked the mixture now, it's thickened. Using a sauce gun, we'll fill our molds just about halfway. And we'll bake that in the oven in a water bath for approximately 30 minutes at 300 degrees. Once the passion fruit brulee comes out of the oven, let it cool slightly and put it into the freezer to firm up. Once it's firm, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some passion fruit jelly on there.
Passion fruit jelly was made with white wine, water, sugar, passion fruit puree, and unflavored gelatin.
If you don't have a sauce gun, a spoon works fine, or a ladle also. We're going to put that in the freezer when it's completely frozen. Then it's ready to go inside the dessert.
Another element of the dome, as if it needed one, is chocolate mousse.
We're going to put some in the bottom here. Chocolate is melted warm. It's folded into what we call a pot de bombe, and then whipped cream is folded in at the very end. We take our brulee and our passion fruit jelly, we pop it out of our mold, place it inside our dome mold, pressing it down slightly.
Then more mousse.
Just over the top. And again, I'm using a FlexiPon mold. We can freeze this and it'll pop it out nice and clean. I'm going to take our chocolate cake we made earlier, small amount of that, and then we're going to finish it with the feuilletine layer that we rolled out. We're going to press it down so it comes up evenly on the sides, and we'll place this in the freezer. Okay. Once our dessert comes out of the freezer, put it on a half sheet pat with a silk pat, and I put it on a glazing rack. The glaze that we made, I'm going to take and we're just going to pour over the top, sort of in a circular motion to give a nice even coating. Bang the sheet tray slightly, just so it comes down, so it's a nice even layer. We're going to let it set for a minute or so. We'll remove it from the glazing rack onto a sheet pan with parchment paper until we're ready for service. Okay. For our final presentation, we're going to take some passion fruit sauce. Just going to spoon it around the plate. And then I've taken the seeds from a fresh passion fruit. I'm going to put a small amount in the sauce. And then I've taken some tempered chocolate on a sheet of plastic, and I put some gold leaf down, some 24 karat gold leaf, just for a garnish. We'll put that on at the very end.